Hello, my name is Tom Viering and I'm an assistant professor at the TU Delft. I am here to introduce you to two new so-called MOOCs that will soon launch on edX. MOOC stands for Massive Online Open Course. This means that you can follow these courses online for free, or if you want, you can pay a small amount for some extra features. Both courses focus on AI and in particular machine learning. So why would you follow these courses? Well, they will help you get familiar with basic and advanced AI topics. It will help you to understand and apply basic machine learning techniques to solve all kinds of problems. These courses are introductory level and they are focused on non-computer science students. So you don't need to have a very strong programming background to follow these courses. They are aimed at bachelor students or higher, but with some extra work, they can also be useful for high school students that want to just get a little bit of taste what AI is about. The courses are taught by teachers with diverse backgrounds. That will give a different perspective on the AI topics that we cover. Finally, our MOOC uses short videos of say 10 minutes each. And it is quite interactive with hands-on exercises where you can apply the learned concepts using small programming assignments. However, so you do need to have some prior knowledge to follow these courses. You will need some basic Python programming skills. Furthermore, we assume that you know basic linear algebra, probability and statistics. So we are introducing these two new MOOCs. The first one is called Supervised Machine Learning. This course will cover the fundamentals of machine learning, focusing on classification and regression. The second MOOC is called Introduction to Unsupervised, Deep and Reinforcement Learning. It introduces 4 more advanced topics. Therefore, we recommend that you take the Supervised Machine Learning MOOC first. Let's discuss why you would like to use machine learning in the first place. It turns out that programming computers can be rather difficult. The key idea of machine learning is to let the computer program itself. We will show the computer examples of what we want in the form of data, and the computer will teach itself how to do the task that is illustrated. Given enough data and compute, we can achieve really impressive results with this technique. For example, we can design better algorithms than we as humans can design by hand. So this is a really useful technique to automate boring, time-consuming or difficult tasks. So, let us talk about this MOOC that teaches supervised machine learning. What will you learn? This MOOC focuses on building algorithms for classification and regression. So what is classification? Well, in classification, the machine or the model has to sort objects into different categories. One example you may be familiar with is that of spam filtering. The spam filter sorts your email into categories of spam and non-spam. In this MOOC, you will learn various techniques how to build such classification models. In regression, a model instead needs to assign objects a number. An example you could think about is predicting the success of a marketing campaign in terms of the number of sales. Say you use a particular budget for your TV advertising campaign. How much sales do you get for this particular budget? This is a typical regression example because we need to predict a number, the number of sales. So this is what you will learn in the first MOOC, classification and regression. So what about the second MOOC? In this MOOC, you will learn about 3 more advanced topics called unsupervised learning, deep learning and reinforcement learning. Note that deep learning and reinforcement learning are very large topics. This course will only cover the basics. Let's start with unsupervised learning. In unsupervised learning, in contrast to supervised learning, there is no clear prediction task. We have a large amount of data that we want to make sense of. As an example, you could think of a web shop that has a large amount of data about its customers. In such a situation, being the web shop, you want to analyze this data to better understand your audience and to boost your number of sales. So we covered two topics regarding unsupervised learning. In the first one, dimensionality reduction, you will learn how to take a high-dimensional and complex dataset and reduce its dimensionality. For example, this can be used to turn datasets into 2D datasets, so that datasets can be easily visualized. For example, you may imagine that the dots in the scatter plot here on the right are actually very complex representations of customers, but we have reduced the data to 2D for easy visualization. The second topic that we cover is clustering. In clustering, the goal is to find meaningful groups in your dataset. For the example of the web shop, you may imagine you will find different clusters that represent different groups of your customer base. Deep learning is a supervised machine learning technique. It uses artificial neural networks to solve more challenging classification and regression tasks. In this MOOC, you will learn the basics of how to build such deep neural networks. They can be used for various different inputs, such as analyzing images, audio, speech, text, etc. And as such, they are the building blocks of the most recent AI models that are being released. Reinforcement learning teaches an AI algorithm how to interact with the environment. Examples that you can think of are an AI that learns to play a video game or that controls a robot in the real world. By the way, did you know that ChatGPT was actually trained with reinforcement learning? In this MOOC, we teach you the basic concepts of this technique. Okay, so in this video I have given you a brief overview of the two new MOOCs of TU Delft that you can find on edX. In supervised machine learning, you will learn the fundamental concepts of machine learning. And in the second MOOC, Introduction to Unsupervised, Deep and Reinforcement Learning, you will be introduced to various more advanced AI topics. These MOOCs will help you get familiar with the basic and advanced AI techniques, so if you're interested, please enroll.